how important is it still to impress your parents?
Who's that for?
Everyone.
I'd answer. I think it's always important to impress your parents or your carers, like whoever's looking after you. Just because no. Just because do you know why? Yeah? Do you remember you said that when earlier on that if you have kids, you'd always want your kids to be a better version of yourself. Yeah. So if you flip that to the children and children know this, you would want to naturally be like, look what I've done. Not in a gloaty way, like look I've done more than you, I've achieved more than you. In a way that it's like you have your knowledge plus your knowledge has given me the ability to excel whatever you've done, and I'm so grateful for that. Whereas
to show them what's possible, and it's possibilities.
Whereas, but you have to remember, in terms of impress and in terms of success, it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Doesn't even have to be physical.
Like, physical. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be as simple as if you was brought up in a split home. Then recreating a home in a joint, happy environment with both parents in the house. It could be something as simple as that. Do you see what I'm saying? So obviously this question depends on what
impresses your parents, right?
Yeah, what your success, what you weigh success on. But I would say it's definitely 100% important. Otherwise, what's your point if you're not moving your family forward?
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Despite believing and agreeing with what you said, I don't think it's important for myself.
Why?
And the reason why I say that is I've specifically zoned in on that word impress.
Yeah.
I would say for myself, it's more important for me to maybe make them proud of certain things, to know that, as you said, I may be an upgrade, certain things that they might not have been able to achieve, or I might have said, all right, well, you guys achieved that, and you know, because of that, you guys instantly made me want to achieve that as well. So I might have, could be something as simple as, you know, like going uni, you're the first one to do it, so that was an achievement for you not to look at and be as proud as I am.
Aren't those words interchangeable though?
What's that?
So if you said proud, yeah, so you'd swap impress for proud, but aren't those words very interchangeable?
I guess they could be, but do you know what it is? For me, impress, the reason why I focus on that, I suppose, for me, impress almost seems like a shock to my parents. Does that make sense to you? Like when I say impress, it's like one of those, oh my gosh, wow, you impressed me, you actually done that, or you actually managed to do it. Whereas I feel like most things that I will do that would impress my parents might naturally be things that they would have expected of me to achieve.
Like it kind of, when you say impress, it kind of it's in it, impress. So it's like I'm trying to press something on you, like I'm trying to show
like,
you.
look what I've done. Like,
rather than doing it, and then they just get a feeling then naturally, like. I don't know.
But regardless.
I'm not saying it is.
No, I get it
kind of
from.
similar,
But
to be fair.
regardless, if we're talking about education, right, and if you was to pass uni, and your parents were impressed that you passed uni, I don't think they're like doubting you that you could or couldn't do it. I think they're thinking, like, yeah, you've made me proud. This is what I think they're very interchangeable. Whereas if you didn't pass uni and they were disappointed, they're disappointed because they would assume that that's your base level anyway. Like you should be passing it anyway. And how did you? The reason why I'm disappointed in you is because I expected you to pass this. Do you get what I'm saying?
Did you not push yourself?
Yeah. So for me, impress doesn't say I'm doing this for them. Like I'm not, whatever I go on to achieve, it's not for him or her.
I think in that, like, from how you've explained it, I'd say, like, I suppose naturally then it's a natural thing of parents. You're gonna expect things of your children, regardless of how we say it or what we say against it. We are gonna expect certain things because we're raising them.
Yeah.
Like if we're raising them, there are naturally certain things that we expect. We're aware that they might change, but you expect them to be knowledgeable of certain things. So say, for example, I've got my morals. I'm fully aware that when my children grow up, their morals may not reflect my morals, But certain things, if I've raised you to get up in the morning and wash your skin, brush your teeth, and make up your bed, at the age of 23, if you're not doing that, I now know that you're just a lazy ass, innit? Because that's how I raised you. However, I naturally expect you to still be washing your skin and brushing your teeth, innit? If you weren't, then I'm a bit like, what, did I go wrong, or did you just go real slack? But just as little as that is, it's still an expectation.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be. But if they didn't do it and they done it, you wouldn't be impressed. That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't be impressed.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's why I say I don't disagree. I think they definitely do. The proud and impressed come together.
I feel personally, unless you extremely hate your parents, I feel that everyone is out to impress the carers. Because
you can't say, oh, unless you hate your parents.
Okay, not hate, but you know what I mean, yeah? Because some people just want to rebel. Yeah, some people just want to rebel. That's because that's what's ever, like, that's between them and their parents, isn't it? Right?
For me, I think it's just a thing I do. I don't think I consciously, like, at times when I was younger, yes. Now that I'm older, maybe that's what it is. When I was younger, definitely you do. Like, I remember making a big speech for my 21st about, I brought police to my door. I'm not have no children. There was a different speech the following year.
Hold on. You're saying now. Yeah? You're saying now. So let's say you don't have to disclose anything, but let's just say that you went on to achieve something, anything, could be anything, and your mum said, "Wow, like." You're sick, that really impressed me, Are you saying, because you're unbothered and you're not doing things to impress her, that her saying that to you is not going to make you feel...
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it has no impact. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen or I won't feel a different way. But what I'm saying is now, where I'm at in my life, I don't feel like I necessarily go out of my way to do things specifically to impress my parents. I think it's just things that will happen.
How important is it still to impress your parents?
Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
So you don't place importance to do it now?
Right, yeah. So them being impressed is fantastic news to me that they are impressed by it, but I don't feel I don't consciously go out of my way to impress them anymore.
Oh, me? Yeah, all the time, man.
But that's just you, man.
Me? Yeah.
You that's I mean, you do it in general, not just your parents.
No, not general. I I'm like, I need to make sure that whatever I go on to do has to be better than what my mum and dad and jointly have step parents, any carers in my life. I need to go above and beyond in my head.
Moving and
because you're doing it in a positive way, not to gloat on your son.
It depends on where people are coming from. So it can be positive or negative depending on like when we look at where we're at now. Actually, that should be the mindset because it's like we're in a warfare. In like spiritual warfare, so you have to get equipped and have to do things in a better way, work the system to help your child. So in a sense, it is nice to.
Also, like there's so many layers to this. That's a very good question. So many layers to that question because even if you talk about how as black people that we've generational, we have been suppressed, To me, if we continue in this place of we're not, even though I don't believe we're slowly, surely getting out of it, right? And a lot of our generations are getting better and better and better at things, which is cool. But if we was to just stop our progression right now, to me that's dead. Like it's in the terms of, and this is what I'm saying. That's
still sick.
This is what I'm saying. So for me, I feel like at the generation I am in my family, I need to push our family forward. Do you get what I'm saying? So and. In doing that, that's a great mentality. In doing that, when that does happen, I would love for my parents to be like, I'm really impressed that you've taken whatever we've instilled with you, because obviously the generation above us, they're fucked, and whatever they could give us, no, it's true. Whatever they could give us is a bonus, and then whatever we give the next generation is a bonus.
So then really and truly, your impression, although it is to impress your parents, it's more about goal setting as well.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? It's not. That's the thing, it's more to it than just, your parents say, oh wow, I'm really impressed, great. It's more about, shit, you know what, I wasn't able to do that, or I had to push that back. You know, like there might be things that they might have achieved in the end, but at this age, because this happened, I had to push that back and I didn't do it till I was 36. You done it, boom, mama done it by 21. Not to say in your face, but it's achievable. Yeah. Because remember, mum, do you remember when that happened to me? And that could have set me back, but it didn't.
And when I just want to make sure we're clear, when we're talking about impress and achievements, it's not making £1 million. It's not anything like that. It could be a little thing that helps your generation, your family tree, whatever it is, move a step further than. So when you have your kids, they look up and said, okay, my grandparents had this. Yeah. My dad had, or my mum had this much more than my parents. So now I need to improve on that, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to.
You just want them to always be greater, innit?
It doesn't have to be like winning a Golden Globe or something like that. It just has to be.
I'm more than happy to impress impress my parents and my carers right down. Like, especially coming from where I come from, and then obviously my mum has a sense of guilt. So when you get out of that, I'm able to free her. So she'll be impressed, and now it frees her because she doesn't have to roll with that guilt and shame because I did live with it.
Because it hasn't held you back.
Yeah, I want you to be impressed because that's going to elevate you now. Because you're going to be like, right, okay, he came out of it, so I can come out of it too.
No, that's real talk. I swear,
Do you not think then that it's a thing I think it makes a difference clearly from our background story, where we've come from
yes,
to
it's imperative.
how it is.
Like, that's the main
Do you know what I
thing.
mean? Because not like you've had yours where you've suffered trauma, you've had a lot happen,
but then there's generational
and then you've come out
as well, which is like
exactly. But what I'm saying is for him
the
personally, he's had
grandparents.
that. You've come from a sporting background where people have had different types of successes. So not to say, oh, I'm not gonna be, but you've come from that. For myself, I wouldn't say that, oh, I've come from nothing. I'm not Drake out here, innit? But
he didn't come from that.
yeah, I know.
I'm not Drake. Better shade. Go on.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm doing the whole. It's not that starting from nothing and we're here now. Like let's.
No one started from.
Exactly. But I'm saying I've got like carnival, for example. I can tell you about the history of my grandparents. Like a hell of a lot of people can tell you about the history of it. So people can use that as my comparison to say, well, what are you doing? You're still involved in it. Be that next step up. But then I still see it just, I've come from a mediocre background. Do you see what I mean?
No, but this is
maybe that's wrong, right?
No, it's not wrong. But this is why I love this question, yeah. Because when you think about this question, everyone will have a very selfish thought and think about their immediate family or what they're doing.
I don't know how to answer it.
It's not though. It's not, because you just said you've come from a mediocre. Not you said that,
well,
but
but when I say mediocre, I mean there's no not that you guys have had comparisons or anything based on that, but I haven't had anything to me in my mindset that has stood out in such a way to say, right, boom, that's my goalpost, or that's my starting point to pick up the bat and run from here.
That's the point I'm making. Yeah? So when I say selfish, it's because you're looking at it like this. But if you look at it as a generation, or if you look at it as a whole community, or black people, or however you want to look at it, we all have a responsibility individually with our family trees, but we also have a responsibility as black people to move our...
But then in saying that, you're answering it as a collective, as a broad thing. Remember, the question was to our parents. So I think that's why my mindset is so narrow, because it's about impressing the parents, not.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying if I'm sticking to it.
Other than your parents, I've met all your parents, yeah, and I would be very shocked if they were to be like, "No, you haven't. You doing all your stuff, yeah. You telling me mum's not like, oh, my son's on TV, that is so sick. I'm impressed." Yeah, cool. Okay, cool.
So impressed my parents.
So the point I'm making is, no matter what you go on to achieve, yeah, that sense of stepping everyone forward, yeah, saying from where Jay's come from to now he's on TV doing big talks and that. Do you get me? That it doesn't have to necessarily be impacting your mum or your dad or whatever.
Yeah. In that sense, But for me, I want her to be impressed with what I'm impressed with. Hear me out. Because my mum might be like, oh, I'm proud of my boys on TV, but I know that's an illusion, that's just crap. What I want her to be more impressed with is the recovery, the kind of overcoming. And that's what I'm moving towards now, like showing her like, it's the overcoming you need to be impressed with, not the TV, the accolades, all this stuff. Because when that's all gone, who am I?
And him saying that, he's kind of saying that it's like and this is not bad, it's like a selfish answer, because he wants it to be his way. He wants it to be seen in his way.
Yeah.